Hello, I'm Paul Collins, and welcome to this What's New presentation for the second release of Q3, scheduled for mid-October. So let's dive in and have a look at what we've got in this release. So we've got the Big Ears release coming up. We've been listening to our customers and potential customers, and pretty much the majority of the enhancements that we've got in this release relate to the feedback that we've been listening to. So let's have a look at what we've done. Okay, first thing, over the last couple of months, in fact, we've done a complete rework of our help system. So we've moved away from the static images to YouTube tutorials. So click on the help button and you'll get a short movie that describes the page that you're on. We've changed the support procedure, so you can basically hit the support button and there's lots of new knowledge items and gives you the ability to raise an issue if you need to, and then you'll get email updates as we progress it. A couple of really major changes and enhancements. We've provided the ability now that you can personalize Sophia to your organization with something that we call skill attributes. We'll have a look at that in a bit more detail, but basically for every skill, all 97 in Sophia, it allows you to add your organization's particular technologies or frameworks or certifications that relate to the different skills. Once you've done that, you can then add those skill attributes to job and role definitions. And as you can see a little bit further down the page, the individual employees can also select those attributes so that you can do that finer level of matching. Direct feedback from our clients. We've introduced the capability where you can assign somebody's current or future job from the admin console. We've added another feature there that you can also lock the ability for people to edit it in the planner. So you can assign somebody to the current job and then lock it so that people can't change that. And it gives you the ability to do either current and or future jobs. We've made a few changes to the analytics. We've got this feature called drill through that was recently introduced into Power BI, and we've taken advantage of that, and a little bit of a rework around the workflow sequence just to move things a little bit to put them in more appropriate positions. Already mentioned that from a planner point of view, the individual can select skill attributes from the ones that have been created in the admin console, gives you that finer degree of matching capability. And of course, in some cases, there won't be a need for people to select their current job because that can have been done via the admin console. A couple of enhancements around reporting that just designed to improve the performance and turnaround times of reports. So quick look at the help and what we've done there. So this looks like a screenshot from the admin console. It's actually a screenshot from YouTube. This is one of the help tutorials. It sits in a playlist. So once you've landed here, you can have a look around the playlist, get help on different workflow tasks, or of course launch directly from the admin console into the specific movie that relates to the task that you're trying to perform. We've tried to keep them below 2 minutes, so they're pretty easy to watch, and it gives us greater flexibility when we bring new features out, just to provide that YouTube tutorial rather than a static page. The support enhancement that we've introduced, as before, we click on the support button from the login page in the admin console, and it launches our service desk. We've added quite a few knowledge items there. We've also got the ability, you can see from that screenshot, to report an unclassified issue. We ask a couple of questions that allows us to prioritize, raises a record in our service desk, and then as we progress it, you'll get updates. You need to provide an email address. We've got some checks and balances to make sure we're not getting hit with robots, but other than that, it gives pretty much anybody the ability, normally admin users, to raise issues with us. Okay, let's go into the admin console and look at some of these new features for real. Okay, so under setup and management tasks, new item that we've added here is configure skill attributes. So this is where you personalize Sophia to your own organizations, technologies, etc. So basically the whole of Sophia here, all 97 skills color coded using the Sophia colors. You can see we've already included some attributes here. So we've got COBIT 5 against governance, preference for an MBA for strategy and planning, etc., etc. In order to add attributes, it's as simple as clicking on the edit button. This brings up the existing attributes, and if they've not been used in a job or a person's not selected it in their profile, you've got the option to delete it. Even if people have selected it, you can hide it to stop basically it being used in the future. And if I want to add a new attribute, I just enter the details in here, click the add button, and that will add an attribute to, in this case, analytics. And then that attribute is available for selection in job descriptions and persons' skill profiles. So pretty simple to use, but a very powerful capability with regard to personalizing Sophia. The other thing that you'll notice here, we've moved the selection of training providers into the setup management tasks. It was previously in job role definition. Just seems to be a better position to move it into that setup space. So let's have a look at what we've done around job role management. So we'll go into this workflow task, a fairly familiar one. First thing at the top of this page is, as always, the ability to edit jobs and make them visible or hidden. But down the page here, this is where we've added a new table. As always, search and sort capabilities. And here we can see that in this case, Alan profile, his current job is service desk analyst and what the percentage match is, and his future job network analyst, etc. From here can actually assign people to jobs. So we've got Igor down here that's empty. If I just select that, I can see a list of the job that's already been defined, and I can allocate that person to the appropriate job. Further down the page, this is where we can lock the ability for the planner to edit the current or future jobs, or assign themselves rather. And here you can see that we've locked the ability to assign yourselves to a current job in the planner, and we'll have a look at that when we go across to the planner. So the final thing to look at while we're in the admin console is what we've done around analytics. I'll show you the drill through feature. There's a few pages that we've added as well. This is the main upgrade, so let's have a quick look. I'm just going to go to this job person compare. So the top of the page here is where we have a list of jobs, and bottom of the page a list of people. It gives us the ability to compare jobs with people's skills, etc. But if I move into this table here, so I can see I'm on a row that says analyst program. I'm just going to right click, and it now gives me this thing called drill through. And if I hit that drill through, what it's actually going to do is give me all the details relating to analyst programmer. So I can export this. I've got a full table here. If I scroll along, you'll see it's got all the various job description attributes. And down at the bottom here, I've got the more textual information, key accountabilities, purchase, purpose, etc. So hit this and it will take me back to where I was. Now I'll do the same. Right click, but we're looking at a person now. I'm going to drill through to person details, and now I'm going to get more details relating to Alan. So the top of the page here, I can see his location, country, current position, etc. I've got some filters there as well, and I've got the full skill profile here relating to Alan, just all in one place. So just a very quick way of drilling down into more detailed information. Okay, so that's it for the admin console. Let's go and have a look at the planner. So I've already logged in here as one of our demo people. I'm looking at self-assessed, and I've compacted it. So the thing that I'm going to point out here is over against the skill, you'll see this new icon that's appeared. And in fact, you can also see that in this particular case, underneath the skill name, which is information content publishing, I've got this thing that says WordPress. If I click on here, you can see that Alan has already selected WordPress as a specialization, so he's obviously familiar with WordPress. So he's assigned himself because that was a skill attribute that the organization added. And anywhere I can see these little dashes, that's telling me that there's skill attributes that I'm able to look at and assign myself to. I can always add very specific comments as well that don't relate to predefined skill attributes. So a bit of free text for me as an individual. And then if I actually overlay a job, so I'm now overlaying network analyst, and down here under the skill of network support, I can see that highway and solar winds has been selected by Alan as areas that, or specializations that he has. But underneath, in a green box, I can see it says solar winds, which is actually telling me that this particular job requires that. So I can immediately see now that Alan has that capability. If I switch and have a look at current job, you can see here that WordPress is a requirement for content publishing, and Chaos Monkey is what we use for testing, and Alan said he's got it, and the job requires it. So all good from Alan's point of view. If I click the edit button, this is where I can see that I've locked the current, the ability to assign this person to a current job, because no checkboxes available, so that was controlled via the admin console. And just to relate that back, if I just come back here to the admin console, and I'll just go into the job edit, what you'll see here is where I actually add. So we'll have a look for that network support job. There we go, network analyst. I'm going to go and edit that job. And what we'll do is see how we add the attributes. I'll say, so I'm in network analyst. I'm going to compact it, and here you can see I've got the little dots that indicate that there's a skill attribute behind the scenes. If I click on it, it shows me what they are, and if I say that I prefer my problem manager to be ITIL Foundation trained, I add that, and now it's added to the job, and if somebody selected that job, they'll be able to compare themselves. Okay, so that's really taken us through the key features that we've introduced in the big ears release. As always, if there's any questions, just give me a shout at paul.collins@skillstx.com, and I hope you enjoy the new features, and thanks for your time.